So Frank, you were all over the news telling us about how positive the leasing demand is in Manhattan.
Yes, absolutely. We got picked up in several periodicals. Sorry that it had to be my face, but yes, honored that we were out there. And the big news was 9 million plus square feet of leasing activity for the second quarter. That's pretty darn strong, considering the typical quarterly average is about 8 to 8.5 million square feet. And you put that together with the first quarter, we now have more than 20 million square feet of leasing activity for the first 6 months of the year. That's the strongest first half of a year in more than a decade.
Wow, since 2014.
Since 2014.
Crazy. But in addition to the demand that's obviously already been recorded, it does feel like it's continuing. I mean, just hearing about, large transactions that are in pipeline or tenants that are in the market, it feels like there is a possibility for this leasing demand to continue.
Yeah, I would certainly say there is that possibility. We're tracking at any given moment about 450 to 500 tenants in the market. That's not even including the 15 to 20 million square feet of leases that roll every year. And you and I are both aware of several very large tenants that are at the 1 yard or 2 yard line before those leases sign. A small handful of those alone could add an additional several million square feet in potentially the third quarter or the fourth quarter.
Well, it's also interesting, talking about rent. The rent on average has gone down slightly. However, just in talking to different landlords or, when representing different tenants, I'm seeing rents really increase across the board.
Yes, we are absolutely seeing that as well. So to your point, the average asking rent decreased during the quarter, and much of that was due to several large deals pulling the above average price space off the market. So NYU at 770 Broadway, Amazon's purchase of 522 Fifth Avenue, their lease at 10 Bryant Park. Those are just a few examples of the above average price space coming off, pushing the average down. But we've absolutely seen higher repricing. We check every quarter with the, at this point, 82 million square feet of available space to see if the asking rents have changed, maybe to the annoyance of some people, but it's important because we see more cases of higher repricing and areas of the market where it's not depressed pricing. Park Avenue actually is now priced at an average of about 110 per square foot, and that's the highest since 2019.
Yeah, the rents are very different from when I started in Manhattan. But the other unique perspective is really just around the amount of supply. I mean, we're coming into, with all the demand that we were talking about, we're coming into a cycle of the next maybe 24 to 36 months where there's going to be very limited new supply.
Absolutely. So speaking of, the limited supply, especially with the newer product, I mean, the overall availability rate right now in Manhattan is north of 15%, but if you are in the market looking at Midtown post-2000 construction, it's sub 7%. So within the next 24 to 36 months, yes, it's more limited, but as we get to the end of the decade, that's when it certainly gets very exciting. You've got the new developments in the pipeline, such as 570 Fifth Avenue, 343 Madison, 175 Park, and then as we look outside of Midtown to Hudson Yards, Manhattan West, the Trade Center, new development potential down there. I mean, just the other day, we saw the approval of the next phase of Hudson Yards,
Right.
which will include, from the sounds of it, about a 2 million plus square foot office building as part of that as well. So very exciting times.
Well, it is exciting to be right in the middle of all of these changes that are happening in Manhattan.
It's a good time to be here.
Thank you.